Okay, Algebra 1, Part 1. This is day 2 notes on our first unit of the year. It's all about combining integers. All right, it's going to seem kind of basic, but it's good to know these little rules on how to add and subtract integers. All right, combining integers for day 2 starts off with just a general question. It says George owes his friend $3. If he borrows another $6, how much does he owe her altogether? Kind of a basic question you're hopefully thinking. If he owes her 3, owes her 6 more, he owes her $9, right? So now we have to translate this to math. How does this work in math terms? So that's what the next part goes into here. This problem can be solved by using addition of integers. All right. Owing $3 can be represented by, if you owe someone money, that's actually it's like a negative amount that you have, right? You owe $3, so that's a -3. And owing $6, that can be represented by a -6. So now you actually have the problem of -3. You owe more, so you're going to add another -6 to it, and that would equal -9. So the negative sign is referring to owing someone the $9. All right, so we have all these rules from way back when. You probably learned them way back in middle school or even before that. It's just good to review them. Some of the stuff, if you can do it in your head, it's going to save you time later on throughout the year. So some addition rules. If you have the same signs, all right, I'll give you the blanks here. If the signs are the same, you're going to add those two numbers and keep the sign. A couple examples thrown in here. 3 plus 5. You're saying, hopefully yourself, what are the signs of this? The sign, if there's nothing in front, is a positive. So +3 plus 5. All right, so the signs are the same. Add them, keep the sign. If they're both positive, it's obviously positive. -7 plus a -3. Some of you, maybe you're thinking ahead and saying, well, there's another way to write that. That's the same as -7 minus 3. You are correct. Those are the same things. The signs, I always say the sign is what's in front of it. So the sign on the 3 is a negative. The sign on the 7 is a negative. Those signs are the same. So we're going to use this rule. We're going to add the numbers. So maybe in your head or off on the side. What is 7 plus 3?
If you're still in the building, could you please call the main office?
So add them. 7 plus 3, that's 10. But keep the sign. So your answer, -10. All right, obviously you have a calculator, you can do that, but some of the stuff, again, it's going to save you time if you can just run that through your head a little bit quicker. All right. What do they do if the signs are different? The signs are different. All right, so we'll forget the signs for a second. We're going to take let's take the difference. When this one's broken down, we're going to take the smaller from the larger. All right, essentially we're going to take the difference. We're going to subtract them and keep the sign of the larger number. All right, another way to say that, take the difference, keep the sign of the larger number, same thing. If you look at these two numbers, -5 plus 7, you can see that the signs are different. 5 is a negative, 7 is a positive, right? Always go to that sign in front of it. The signs are different, so maybe you want to forget the signs for a second. Subtract those two numbers. 7 minus 5 is 2. So I know my answer is 2, and now is it positive or negative? Keep the sign of the larger number. I would say 7 is a bigger number than 5. And that has a positive, so your answer is going to be +2. All right, it's just a little quick shortcut, little rule that helps people get your signs correct. All right, some of the biggest mistakes in Algebra 1 are just missing your signs. The second example, let's you guys try that one. See what you get for an answer. All right, we'll leave that one blank for now. We'll go over it in class tomorrow or the next day. At the bottom, more practice. Let's do one of these. -10 plus 5. Just by looking at it, I can see that those signs are different. So the rule says subtract them. 10 minus 5 is 5. So I know my answer has something to do with a 5. Keep the sign of the larger one. Which one's larger, 10 or 5? 10's bigger, right? So keep that negative sign with your answer. All right, try number 2 at the bottom of the page as well. All right, we'll go over that one in class. Next page on the back. More examples. Let's do number 3. All right. Number 3, I've got -6 plus a -5. If you look at it closely, those signs are the same, right? There's a negative in front of each of those. So if the signs are the same, I'm going to add the numbers. So maybe off on the side or in your head. I guess it doesn't matter the order. 5 plus 6 is 11. And keep the sign. So they're both negative, so my answer is -11. Number 4, you can handle. You guys do that one. All right, that's what I mentioned on the first page. Writing problems using only one sign, all right? This is where you see -4 plus a -2. We don't need that plus a negative. If you're ever adding a negative, it's the same as subtraction. That's the same as -4 minus 2, right? A lot of people get confused with that, even here in high school. It's just something we gotta get used to. More practice for those. So this next part in the box here just says rewrite them. Doesn't even say solve them, just says rewrite. So number one, -7 plus a -5, that's the same as -7 minus 5. It's that easy. All right, we don't have to simplify it, we can do that later. All right, number two, -1 plus a -7. These parentheses in here, that just signals that it's a -7. You're not multiplying because there's a plus sign in front of it. All right, it's not touching the -1, so be careful with how it's written. This is the same as -1 minus 7. All right, same thing written differently. Same with number 3. You see parentheses, sometimes it means multiply, but what's in front of it is a minus sign, so you're just subtracting a -4. Be careful, this one's got lots of things going on here, right? This is really a -9 minus a -4. Some of you remember this rule, double negative, right? State change, maybe you called it back in the day. That's -9 plus 4. All right, so that's it. We don't have to simplify. That's good enough for right now. Number 4 is the same idea. I'll let you try it. It's just like number 3. All right. Remember, we're going to go over those rules again in class. We'll write that in there later. At the bottom, just more practice. -7 plus 6. Think to yourself, the signs are different. What do you do if the signs are different? You're going to subtract the numbers. That's 1. Keep the sign of the larger number. So go back to the original. Which one's larger? I'd say 7's bigger than 6. Keep that sign. So your answer is -1. All right, this just gets you the number. Think of your rules, and it'll get you the sign. Number 2, -6 minus 8. I would say the signs are the same here. They both have a minus sign in front, or the negative. Depends on how you look at it. I would say those signs are the same. I'm going to add those numbers. 6 plus 8, that's 14. And the rule says if the signs are the same, add them and keep the sign of these original ones. So keep the negative. The answer here is -14. All right, try number 3 and 4. Not too bad. Give it a shot. All right, there's more on the next page, though. Notes are a little bit long for day 2. Lots of examples. It just takes practice. Get good at this, guys. All right, so number 5, -8 minus 9. Ask yourself, what rule are we talking about? Signs are the same. Add them. Doesn't matter which order when you add them. 9 plus 8 is 17. Keep the sign of the original. So they're both negative, so -17. All right, some of these have parentheses. Some of them are trying to trick you. The number 6, -10 minus a -5. You don't need the parentheses here. You're not multiplying. You're actually subtracting a negative. So this is the same as -10 minus a -5 without the parentheses. Double negative. That's keep change. All right, -10 plus 5. So just to here, now we're talking about like, now the signs are different. Now the rule says find the difference between them. 10 minus 5 is 5. Keep the sign of the larger one. So I know my answer is 5. I got to keep the sign of which one is larger here, which is the 10, which was negative. So my answer is -5. All right, so if you're using the rules, slow it down, think about it. What are you doing? Are you adding, subtracting first, getting your number, and then think about your sign. Do I keep it or keep the sign of the larger? All right, let you try number 7 and 8. Number 9 is kind of like number 6. All right, maybe you can skip that first step. Maybe you're getting good at it. This is -7 plus 8 because double negative becomes plus. Now think about it. Are your signs the same or different? All right, so they're different. So what do? You're going to take the difference of them, maybe off on the side. Do it in your head if you can. That's fine. That's 8 minus 7. You can hardly see that. 8 minus 7 is 1. Keep the sign of the larger, which in this case is the +8, so keep that sign. All right, try the rest of these, see what you come up with.